is what he
context.
That's what she said.
said. Penny in the jar. That's right. Flaunting my own.
Very much. Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Gaming Podcast. Look at this. We are all here this week. All of us. Yay! We're back together after holidays and just pressures, because life is pain. Anyway, welcome back.
I was gonna say, as Jeff Goldblum says, life finds a way.
Finds a way. Not really sure how.
You bastard life.
Fucking life.
Anyway, we are a video game podcast, apparently.
I thought we were a
that's how
comedy podcast.
We're just three people that sit around and chat bullshit, and you like to listen. So, we are here. My name is Bendy, and I am the Admiral Idiot. I like to play video games and make things sometimes. Nettle, who are you?
Nettlecreates, some general idiot. I cosplay more now and stream much less. But there are still YouTube videos.
You're still about. You're there, creating that content.
There's still content coming.
Tempus. You stream, don't you?
I do.
Your name is Tempus.
I stream quite regularly at Tempusbe because that is my name. Hello. I am the idiot of the skies, otherwise known as Martial Idiot. I was trying to get Maverick, but someone had already taken it. So,
What a knob.
I know. Tell me about it. Yes, I stream, and that's about it.
That's it.
I don't know if you've known this, but we've travelled back in time. Have you heard about this? It's now 1986 with
Oh yeah.
Kate Bush being number one.
I'm running up that hill.
Being
number one film,
the top
yeah.
number one movie. So, welcome to 1986, everybody.
I wasn't born.
I doubt any of you. Yeah, I doubt. Neither was I. So only one of us was born.
And he was
time.
2. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are here now. A lot of you listening probably have no idea that the 80s was a thing because.
I know. The fact that everyone's coming out saying, "Oh my god, what a banger this song is," and I'm like, I've been telling you that for the last 30 years.
I mean, it's Kate Bush. If you don't know who Kate Bush is at our age, then just stop being.
So, I think that was an excellent Kate Bush, you guys. I don't know.
Absolutely perfect.
Soaring Heights, baby. What a great song that is.
I mean, I've got to give it to Babushka.
Babushka's good. Babushka's just great. And also, Placebo do a really good version of Running Up That Hill as well.
Yes. Wasn't that in... Was that in Cruel Intentions? I'm sure they did a song for Cruel Intentions. Not sure if it was that one. Anyway,
I haven't seen it in a while. Anyway, we're
not a film podcast.
We're not a film podcast, but we might one day talk about films. Yeah.
But we may start singing Kate Bush at any point in time in this podcast, so just watch out.
Exactly. Apologies to listeners if you can hear sloppies. I'm really hot and needed to have an ice pop, so I'm eating an ice pop while we're recording.
She is also really hot.
I'm professional, but who gives a shit?
Yeah. The ASMR will be up on the. Well, Bendy just choked.
Oh, okay.
Well, that wasn't sensible.
No, well, that's the clip.
Excellent. Okay. Let's get back to the podcast after our tangent. So, as we do usually, we've been probably playing things because I've not been on the podcast for a while, and I've not seen Nettle for a while. So, Yeah, so have you been up to anything? Any games you've been playing you want to let us know about?
I've got one game.
Could you have got more high pitched with that?
So
Yes.
she's Kate Bush, everyone. She's gonna get a perm on in a minute. I have one game to talk about. It's been a hectic week for me. So just the one game actually. And it was actually the game I won in Tempus's giveaway in his 2-year stream a couple of weeks ago. If you weren't there, then you're sad and we don't like you.
Please stay for the podcast.
I'm joking. I love you. I need the love. It was a game called Spellcaster University, and anybody out there who has ever listened to us before will know how much I love a good witchy, wizardy game. Where I don't actually get to do much wizarding or witchcraft in this, but it's basically how I can describe it to you aesthetically and gameplayery is like any kind of tycoon game, like a roller coaster tycoon or that kind of thing, where you're building a university for witches, wizards of all kinds, and you have certain currencies that you need to get, and you get them from the different types of students that come to your university. So obviously, it's a little bit of everything at the beginning, like you get tiny amounts of this currency, but from that currency you then get to buy the classrooms or unique items that give you even more of that currency, because it's like a passive build-up of the currency. And you just go on building up a university and getting like experience points and points from being a good university, with the caveat that at the top of the screen you've got this bar that tells you when the Lord of Evil is going to come and destroy your university. And that's the campaign. You get told from right at the beginning, like, build your university, get lots of people to come, it'll be brilliant, but by the way, it is going to be destroyed. And then you go on to a different part of the country to make another university. And I'm like, I got onto like the second university and none of my other students came with me. And I'm like, where are these students? Did they all die? Did they get killed?
That's absolutely dead.
Yeah.
You left them to die.
I did.
Wow.
But in the second university, I did get fish people joining as wizards and witches. So
Who doesn't love a good fish?
Apples and oranges.
All right.
I love the fact that you're building this university, but you've set up 0 defences, knowing full well this Lord of Evil is coming to get you.
It makes no fucking sense. The other thing is you can go visit the Lord of Evil to get reputation with him. So you've got like the Lord of Evil in the cemetery and like pirates on the cove and a village and the king in his castle, and you can go and do quests with like some of your students to get reputation or like the different types of currency from these people. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go to the guy that's just about to destroy my university, make him happier with me, and then he'll give me some evil like deck.
Imagine like being best friends with the evil guy and he's just like, I'm such a knob, I'm still going to destroy your university.
But I'll let the dragon go, so that's fine. So there's another cool element to this, which I actually thought was really good, because obviously with a lot of Tycoon games, the whole point of it is just you build up this thing, whatever it is. You can take your students, you basically, after a certain amount of time and with a certain amount of reputation from one of the factions, I can't remember which, you open a dungeon up on the map, and you can take 4 of your best students to go into this dungeon, and you can just keep going into different rooms, and you pick cards to help them fight this. So it turns into a card-based deck builder game at that point. And yeah, you go off and then depending on how far you go down, the more stuff you get from this dungeon, and it's gold or the different types of reputation or the different types of currencies. And you just get all of this stuff that comes with it. It's pretty cool. I mean, you might kill your students. Spoiler, I did.
They signed a waiver.
They signed a waiver, it's fine. I mean, they were orphans, it was fine.
Got
Disclaimer.
parents, you're not allowed
Disclaimer.
to get murdered, but orphans, go for it.
Yeah, well, the quite scary thing is in this, depending on which way you go with your reputation on like how good your university is, if it's too low, there are really upper class wizard families that are like, I don't want my child associating with that person. Put that person in a different house. And I'm like, well, no.
Craftism here. Get
We're not fucking, JK fuckface. We're not going to do that. So that was a bit weird, but you could just tell them no, and they get really pissed off with you. So it's just like, oh well, what are you gonna do about it? Take your student out, take your child out of my school. There are no other schools, and he's gonna die anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna run and leave him here to fight the Lord of Evil.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game if you like tycoon games. If you like little resource buildery games, it's fun. It's a time sink. I lost 2 hours without realising it, 2.5 hours without realising it the other night. And it's got a really good soundtrack. For a very, very, very small, simple, tycoon-y type game, the soundtrack's really good. Like, it's one of those things where you don't notice it until you really listen to it. But that's what makes it good, because it's not standing out against what you're doing. It just accompanies it really nicely. It just so happened that I sat for like 2 minutes, like not doing anything, as people were coming to my university, and I was like, oh my god, this music is really good. It's very, folky. It's still got the tycoon-y element. I don't know if anybody can understand that, but there is a specific type of music that goes with a tycoon game that's just there, but it's just got that folky bit that goes over the top. And then when you go to, like, at the moment I'm on the seaside university, and there's just like a very nautical element to it. They did really well with just making the soundtrack like work for a game. Like, you wouldn't expect that kind of game to be thought about like for music, but no, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how old it is now. Oh, that's disappointing. And that's not the right one. I was about to get really annoyed, but Google gave me the wrong thing. Yeah, I mean, there we go. It's like 9 out of 10 on Steam, so clearly other people think the same. It's a good one. Made in Unity. Publishers are Sneaky Yak Studio and Whisper Games. Whisper Games. But Sneaky Yak Studio. Whisper Games. Sneaky Yak Studio are the developers, so... yeah, I mean, it's only a Windows game. It's not on consoles, but I don't know how it would work on consoles the way it is. So, yeah, if you like that kind of game, it's described by Steam as a strategy simulator. I'm not sure I call it strategy. There's not much strategy around it. You can't strategize against something you're gonna die against. You have not die, but leave. So I call it a tycoon game. But yeah, it's fun. It is fun. I would definitely recommend people buy it. And time sink your life away.
I shall check it out.
That's what happens with tycoon games. You're just like, I'll just build a little theme park. I'll just build a little one. Just 6 hours later, you're like, haha. Yes, you die in my trap. Oh wait, is that just me? Do I just murder people? Okay, Tempus, what are you playing?
I was just going to say that was a bit like when I was playing. I think it was Zoo Tycoon or something like that a few weeks back. I was getting so frustrated because the exhibits were all like a shape, like they weren't all just the same shape or anything. But when you put them down, they didn't kind of just sit nicely and everything. You had to line them up to make paths, and I wanted my paths to be straight, not wobbly. And the path tool, yeah. And I thought, oh, there's a path tool. That's fine. I can make my own path. No, the path tool just means I can destroy it or remake the same path again. The amount of times I would put an exhibit down, the path wouldn't be straight, so I'd have to pick it back up again, move it slightly to try and get it straight. That was a frustrating thing. I think I probably spent about 20 minutes one time just trying to get one of these things straight.
So I will say this is a 2D game, so you only have it on the front dimension, and you build up and out. But there's no paths. You don't have to worry about paths.
Good. Paths are a bane of my existence.
But you do have to think about where you're putting the classrooms, because some classrooms don't fit next to each other, and some of them you can't go through. So you have to be a bit wary of that. Mm-hmm. All that happens. Students go, I can't get into this room. Fucking go around, you idiot.
Just walk into it, Just keep going. Just that animation of just walking into a wall because they can't get to the next room.
You're a wizard. Zap through, you bastard. Yes. Anyway, I have a continuation and a new game to talk about. So my continuation was I finally played a bit more of Dishonored.
Ah.
Really enjoying that at the moment. Again, I'm not going to be worried about spoilers if you haven't played it because it's such an old game. I mean, I know I'm only just coming to it, but you know, if I'd heard spoilers about it, it probably wouldn't put me off it. But I can't remember her bloody name now, but I've rescued Emily. I've rescued Emily now, so she's back with us.
The Hounds something pub.
The Hound Pit pub, I think.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So cute in that one.
But I think I've done. Oh, that's it. I just went and saw. The last mission I did was taking out the Blythe. Was it Blythe?
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent her on the boat with some weird guy.
You did it non-lethally then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've managed to keep it. I've managed to keep them all low recently.
Low
The
chaos.
first two were higher, and then it come up with a warning. And it was like, oh, if you keep doing higher chaos, there's going to be whatever they're called, creeper guys.
The blood plague gets worse. Like you get more rats, which then leads to more creepers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So so I don't want to do it high. It just so happened the first two ended up.
I
being
just
that
so
way.
happened to kill everyone.
No, that's what I've actually done. I've kidnapped. Oh no! It was that. That was after I kidnapped the Corvo, Scorvus, whatever his name is, the medical guy.
No, that's because you're Corvo.
Yeah, I was going to say you're Corvo.
It's an S, isn't it? Yeah, it's like Scorvolus or something like that.
Snivelus.
What's his? He's
Sokolov.
the doctor.
Sokolov.
Sokolov. That's it. Yeah. Sokolov.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why? I'm playing this game. Why are these names not sticking in my head?
Because I can't remember whether it's in Dishonored 1 or Dishonored 2. Have you done the Clockwork Mansion yet? Because that's where you get Sokolov, isn't it? That's where you save Sokolov.
I think the Clockwork Mansion is 2.
Possibly. I don't know. He was in this. He was on the end of a bridge. He was in a building on the end of the bridge, but I didn't go through it. I went on the roof and just got him straight away, and then come out. I was like, "Fuck!" Going through every level, going up.
It's one of my favorite. The Clockwork Mansion is one of my favorite levels in any game. So if it is in 2, then
Well, I will be playing.
Out for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to play. I'm going to play through more. I think once I've done this one because I'm liking it. So
yeah,
I think I'll try and get through because there's that and there's the other one, isn't there?
Clockwork Mansion is the 4th mission on Dishonored 2.
There we go.
I always thought it was 1, and then they had the weird timey one in 2, but they got both in there. And then everyone should listen to Miracle of Sound Clockwork.
Yes!
Such
a good my gosh.
Song. Such a good song. In fact, just listen to
Miracle of Sound.
Because he's so good.
So good.
Like,
he does songs based off of games. So they sound like the game, but it's not just like I've taken a bunch of noises from this game. He's literally just made like it just sounds like it should be in the game. He's so good. So good. I love him.
Clockwork. Is it Clockworks or Clockwork? It's the actual lyrics to the song are based around what happens actually in Dishonored 2, so it actually makes more sense. And like it's got some of my favorite lyrics to any song in it, and I'm just like, oh, so good. Also listen to London Town, which is also a great song, which is based on Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I was going to guess that.
Very good song. And Another Round of Gwen is brilliant as well. When that comes on, it just on a shuffle when I'm driving, I'm like,
What's it called?
Miracle of Sound.
Miracle of Sound.
I'm writing it down.
He's very, very good. He's got this one, and I don't know what it's based on. It's called Punch. Punch.
Yeah, it's.
I am Punch. Made of sludge. It's so good.
It's either
so
WoW or.
Is it Dota?
It might be Dota 2. Yeah.
Is it Dota? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have no idea what it is, but it's right at the end. It goes, "Oh, what you playing there? Oh, it's a tuba." I just find it hilarious. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Go and listen to it. Punch.
Listen to all of them.
4 recommendations for you. Another round of Gwen,
Oh.
London Town, Clockworks, and Punch. Do it. Listeners.
Just listen
You've
to
been
them.
told.
They're really good. Yeah, really good.
Very, very good. Very good.
Uh,
Is that all?
So random.
No.
No.
I have
Carry on.
my new one that I started on Monday. I started playing a game that Nett was spoken about on the podcast, The Forgotten City.
Ooh, yes.
As it was on Game Pass and I'd had it downloaded for a while, and I wanted to play something new on stream, and I thought, you know what, I've got that. I'll give it a go. I quite liked what I saw from it, but I wasn't paying too much, like, without sounding horrible now, I wasn't paying too much attention because I wanted to play it myself. If you know what I mean. I was there.
I
always
know.
there.
I don't care.
But I love it. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've played.
Okay.
I've put about 7 hours into it now.
Mm.
I got one ending today. I'm at a second ending. But I'm struggling at the minute to actually get out of this room, and it's doing my head in. but I'm gonna go. I'll carry on with it on Friday. But it turns out there's 4 endings,
Yeah.
so I'm going to attempt to get all 4. I know what one of them is because it's quite funny when it, like, without spoilers as such, but like when I got the ending, it come up with like a, like the time graphs you get, like through time, this happened and this happened and this happened. Like you got that, and it's got like the first ending is real early in the game, and then I've got 2, which is kind of midway. Then you got 3, and then you got 4, which is obviously the long end game one, which I think is the one I'm doing right now. I think I'm doing 4.
I believe 4 is the true ending.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing so because I'm not being funny. I'm getting a shitload of lore dump, so I'm guessing that this is the main ending to the game. But it's really, really, really good because you find out all this information from all of these people. You're collecting all of these items, and then you're like, oh, right, okay, shit, I did something wrong. Or something happens, and you're like, well, I can't talk to this person about that anymore. And then you kind of go through the loop, and you're prepared with everything to get through and get all this other stuff done. And I think, like, from when I spoke to, like, I'm not going to spoil one of the endings or whatever, but basically when I got my first ending, it had been 3 days. Like, I'd literally been through I'd only been through the loop like 3 times. So I'd gained a lot of information, but it's really, really good. And I remember the bow bit, Nettle, that you did play because I did watch that bit. The thing is, it's not scary, but there are certain places you go through, and I was on edge because, like, there's just things that run. Like, there's these, like, a specific monster or creature that is in the game that you do have to fight at certain points. And when you're in those situations, because the noises they make as well were like really awful. And
then when you find out what they actually are, it's even worse.
Yeah, no, I've been through all that. But yeah, I recommend that to anyone. If you like mystery kind of games, it's almost roguelike-ish in the fact that if you do something wrong, you can go back and go back in again. It's very good like that. But there's a lot. There's like, I think I counted them earlier because someone asked me how many people were in there. There's like 24 or 25 people, and they've all got things that you need to do to solve certain things or find out information from. But like certain things happen to certain people, and you can't get that information until you get a certain item to stop something happening. Or, it's so good because at one point, like when I loaded out this one, I was like, I'm a little bit lost. I don't really remember what I'm doing. And then I went and spoke to someone. I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And then I was just off. That was it. I was just talking to everyone. And even now, still, like, I think I was quite towards the end of my stream today,
Mm.
and like Nettle obviously messaged in my chat as well. I've still found a couple of places that I hadn't been, and I'd walked around that place a lot.
It's
Like
surprising the secret areas.
That field was just. How was I ever supposed to see that? No, I'm looking for this guy for like 20 minutes. No word of a lie. Right, it was the only thing I needed to do, and there was this one guy. I'd walked around so much, and it was like, oh, he's in the field, but he'd moved because
He'd
after a
moved
certain
by
amount
that
of time
point,
they move
yeah.
around. I spoke to him when there's no field. She went, yeah, there is. And I walked around and I followed him somewhere else. And I was like, literally through this tiny little hole in these little bushes, there was like a farmer's field with a goat. And I was like, where the fuck has this been? Like, I've walked past this like 3 or 4 times.
Through that little hole
Yeah.
in the bushes, obviously.
Yeah. You know, it's. I mean, it must be great security because I didn't fucking find it.
No shoes, no shirt, can't get in.
No. I mean, I did turn some goose eggs into golden eggs, so.
Well, now we know where that story comes from. Tempus.
And then proceeded to throw myself off a cliff and die. So.
If you're not throwing yourself off a cliff and dying, then are you even playing video games?
The majority of the map, right, will not let you walk over edges into the abyss. The one place that I actually go, oh, I'm going to look and see what's down there. There's no invisible wall.
Boink.
There was an invisible hand pushing me. Yeah. You will die now.
It's really deceptive because there's a particular part of the game where you do have to walk over like a cliff. And at that point I was like, well, I'm going to fucking die, aren't I? This is how it all ends. But,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, you don't die at that point. But it does give you this sense of, well, I'm clearly not going to die. But there's no fall damage. Clearly there's no fall damage. And then you're like, boink. Oh, there is fall damage.
Yeah, I've died to that. I mean, what? Yeah. So that's
the first time you triggered the golden rule, though. How much of a panic attack were you having?
I mean, I triggered it. I'm not gonna lie, I triggered it really quickly because I took the key off of the shelf in Decius's shop.
Those who are listening, Nettle has just given the most unimpressed face I have ever seen in my life. That was a face of disgust, and how could you? How could you pick up that key?
It's literally like the one thing that they first start telling you is about the fact that you don't steal.
Yeah, but I mean, this is my fault because
it was an accident.
I didn't really pay attention, right? I'd picked up the key and I just pressed A. And it weren't until later when I looked at it, if you pick something up and it's considered and it's not something you can freely take, it's in red rather than green. But I wasn't paying attention. I just picked up the key and then pressed A. I just spammed A. And it was like, the sins of the one shall be. And I was like, fuck! Run!
Just like you're running out and you're like,
because you got fucking statues trying to shoot golden arrows at your ass. I mean, spoiler. But yeah, so that's me. That's me. I'm done. Your turn.
I went on holiday.
Yeah, Bendy had a life.
Cool. So news then, yeah.
No, actually, I had also an extra few days. I came back on Monday, came back on Friday, so I had like the bank holiday weekend to play stuff. So I finished Lost in Random.
Ooh.
It was so good. Highly recommend. Gonna go back and do a replay so I can get 100% it. So I'm like three achievements away because it's ones I missed early on that I didn't know there.
Everybody pray to the Lord of Chivos.
Highly recommend. It's got a really nice. I say nice story. It's not a nice story. It's a sad story. Ends up being really sad. The more you progress, just the sadder the places get, and it's just there's this one interaction you have, like in like the last one, and you're like, this man's insane, and I love him, and I want to take him home. And very good. I played a little bit more Life is Strange True Colors. Got another chapter of that finished. Hopefully I should finish that very soon. And then I plan to play, and this is keeping me on track, so I'm going to say it, because we're going to talk about maybe a sequel in a bit, but I'm going to play A Plague's Tale. It's on Game Pass. I downloaded it ages ago and never played it, and now that Requiem is going to be coming to Game Pass within the next year, I think everyone raves about it and says how great it is, so I want to give that a go. But while I was on holiday, I didn't play video games, but I played some card games, which I would like to tell you all about. So I'm shit at poker. That's just what I'm going to say off the bat. We played a lot of poker, and the person who had never played before gets on getting straight flushes. Just didn't realise. Just like, got a straight flush. Everybody was so rich by the end of it. I shouldn't have gone all in when I went all in, but I'm like, this is how I play poker. I don't.
Who doesn't go all in?
All in.
It's just
Fuck it, all in.
To be fair,
I haven't even got your cards yet.
I had a two pair high, and I thought that's going to be great. Like 2 aces. I'm in for wins here. And then someone got like a royal flush or something, and I was like, fuck. So that was annoying.
That's when she pulled out a revolver.
Yep, I
like the old
definitely
West.
did. Nobody that I went on holiday with is alive anymore. Sorry about it.
Who did you go on holiday with? Who are we not going to hear from again?
It's my D&D friends. So,
that's okay.
You know.
It just means more time for D&D with us.
Right?
There's more D&D friends in the world.
Exactly. So the card games, the actual physical card games that we played, one is a official Wizards of the Coast called Dungeon Madness.
Yep.
Mayhem. Sorry, Dungeon Mayhem.
Yep.
And you have like 4 classes. It's 4-player. You own it.
And the expansion.
Good, because one of my friends ended up getting the expansion after we played it, and they got the Monsters expansion and the new class expansion as well. So basically, you just have your class, and it's a card game, so you just pick cards, and you just have to hit everybody else's health. And it was just good fun. It was like quick rounds, and we were just swapping every round, so everybody could play at a time. So like 2 people were out while 4 people were playing. We were just moving around, and basically just at the end of it, it was like, who is the wizard? Fuck the wizard. Kill the wizard. So apparently we don't like wizards, but that was a very, very fun game. Really quick to play, really easy to play. I enjoy playing the paladin quite a bit because they're just like, oh, really? You're gonna try and do that? 4 hits. Goodbye. But yeah, so I highly recommend that. Play it especially if you're drinking. And then a rude card game that we played was called Dick. D-I-K, right?
So 10 out of 10 game.
10 out of 10 game. Absolutely.
Or is it 20 out of 20 because there's 2 dicks in it?
Well, there's more than 2 dicks.
Wow.
So basically, it's like Scabby Queen Go Fish. So there's 1 dick card, and you don't want to have the dick card at the end of it. And then the rest are pairs. So then you ask and you get pairs, and you have to say when you get a pair, I have a lovely pair of, and then whatever it is, and it's all like rude things within the animal and plant kingdom. For example, I have a lovely pair of sausage trees, or I have a lovely pair of blue tits.
Hey.
It's so I was the first time we played, I was a dick. Literally couldn't get rid of it. But it's really funny because they're funny words and they're funny phrases, and asking the question of, do you have a like woodcock? And we were just making fun of that, and it ended up being like a really, It wasn't about playing the actual game. It was about getting the most laughs about asking for the particular card you're asking for. But if you got rude friends and you want a nice party game to play together, I recommend Dick Dick. 10 out of 10 Dick Dicks. So yeah, that's me. That's what I've been playing. So you can't get away from games even when you're on holiday. Because technically paintball is a game, and I did that too, and we fucking smashed it because we're really good at paintball. I'm really competitive, so.
So I was right when I said she had a revolver.
Yep,
It was just full of paint.
it was full of paint.
I'm trying to find this game on Amazon and it's not coming up. So upset.
DIK.
Oh, IK, I see. I can't spell.
See, Dick. Do you know what? It's funny. I went to the zoo last Monday and they had it's a little tiny deer called a Dick.
Yeah, and it has a picture of a Dick in it on the thing. So it's a picture of a deer, and the deer looks like it's really scared.
I'm going to find this if it kills me. No, but I have found a game called Claim Your Tits.
A dare claimed.
Just labels.
Just yeah.
Bendy's boobs.
Bendy's boobs. See.
Okay, on from games that we have played, card or video, and such. So recently it's been kicked off what people are calling at the moment P3, which I fucking hate, is Jeff Keighley. So it's the start of the Summer Games Fest. So we're hearing all the game news, E3 season, if E3 was still a thing, which it's not. But it is in your calendars. This is E3 season. This is when we start hearing stuff about. We had the State of Play. What was that? 2 weeks ago.
Last week I think I spoke about it, didn't I? So it went about
a
week
week
ago,
2 weeks, yeah, something like that.
Then with the opening night live, which Nettle live tweeted for us over on our Twitter. We'll talk about that a bit later on. And then we were chatting away in Discord for the Xbox Showcase. So our news this week is us going to be discussing some of the games that came out of the Xbox Showcase.
Yeah.
And if you watch the you can compare it. Why not? Let's go a bit crazy. We can compare it to the State of Play and what you're looking forward to, what you're not looking forward to, how you like the showcase itself, all of that sort of stuff. So, shall we start with some games? Shall we?
Can do.
Sure.
Well, I was very interested in the fact that they came out and went, all of these games will be out in the next 12 months. It did not mention anything that is going to be like even the third quarter of 2023, which I thought was really, really interesting. I guess I just don't want to get people's hopes up because games are being delayed and delayed and delayed. So by announcing stuff that's just in the next 12 months, as a consumer, I feel like, this might actually happen, rather than going, oh, we've got this tiny snippet of Elder Scrolls 6, but that's probably not going to come out for 8 years, so let's not. So I'm going to bring up the list of games that were announced, and let's talk about them.
I literally brought up the picture that I put in
the
me
too. I think I want to start, not with a particular game, but with the overall feel of a lot of the games that were coming out. And clearly, this next 12 months is going to be year of the very grim space game.
Absolutely. It's all Dead Spaces.
Yep.
That is a theme. It is very much a theme.
It feels like the space, the astronaut meme, where there's one astronaut and then there's another one behind him with his gun, and he goes, "It's just all space games," and the guy was like, "It always has been," and then shoots his head off.
And turns into an alien.
Exactly.
I definitely agree with you. So what last year was looping games? So
yes.
Games that looped.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Before that, there was zombies, right?
Yeah.
Zombies were always a big thing, but there was like a string of like big zombie games that came out. and then you had your brown shooters like before that. So this is definitely the E3 of scary space. Scaries in space.
Scaries
so
in space.
Of course, we're all very excited for that, aren't we?
I
but,
just
like, some interesting other things came out of it though.
yeah.
Let's each talk about which game we are most excited for. For me, Redfall. Absolutely. I cannot wait to play that game. It looks like Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, but with vampires. And anyone who knows me knows I love a fucking vampire. And being able to kill vampires with 3 of my friends, and also people that know me as well. On a Thursday, I game with a couple of friends of mine. We love to play co-op games. So as soon as that comes out, that's going to be a good one for a Thursday run. So you'll be hearing a lot about that when that comes out. What about you, Netty? What were you looking forward to?
A new game that I'm looking forward to is As Dusk Falls, which was the kind of watercolor effect. I'm going to go with walking sim type game. Obviously, it looks very story driven, and it looks like a choice based story driven game.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, yeah.
They did go on a bit more about that actually on the extended.
Oh, did they?
Because they said obviously it's 8-player multiplayer.
Yes.
I think it's Supermassive that did the game before where you can sit on your phones and
they do that with all of the anthology.
All of them are couch co-op.
Dark Pictures, yeah.
And basically it's this. You all vote on what their next decision is.
Oh,
so you can sit
so it's a tactical vote. That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's like the thing that I saw like when they showed a bit of the screen. This character had 3 choices of dialogue that they needed to make, and like you then on your phone decided what choice you wanted to vote for, and then obviously the majority vote is whatever that character does.
Supermassive.
They don't
watch parties, right?
So there's nothing on the phone you can do. I know that much with Supermassive.
But it's like you have the
but it's couch co-op. You can decide as a group what you're doing, or you can pass the controller to the person who is meant to be controlling that character. Yeah. So each one will have a different character, and that person will have to decide what they're doing.
It's kind of like a Jackbox scenario, right?
I can't remember what it's called now. And I'm definitely searching for it the wrong way.
But yeah, that was the new game that I was looking forward to. It is right up my street. It's proper story, like thinking about it.
Hidden Agenda.
Yes.
Hidden Agenda. Because I played that. And if you're on your phone, you can. It is a Supermassive games.
Is it Supermassive? Is it?
Yeah.
It's before Andy.
Yeah, on your phones. It's the same voting system. You all kind of just try and vote to decide what a character should do and everything. So it's quite
very cool. I like that, especially for group games. If you're going to if you can sit together and have some drinks and game, it's a great way of doing it.
Do you know what that is?
Do you know what I'm feeling, guys? I'm feeling
Unnamed.
I'm feeling a stream.
Unnamed stream, yeah. Unnamed
we'll
Ask Dusk Falls stream.
It's going to be coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Day 1 Game Pass. And that one's 2022. That's coming out in like 4 weeks time or something. It was in July.
Yeah, it's quite early on because I'm assuming these are going kind of in the order they're releasing.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because that Naraka comes out in like a few days' time.
Yeah.
High Rise, I've seen the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
I know that's coming out pretty soon. I've seen a lot of advertisement for that. So yeah, I reckon we should do a couch co-op.
Game time, we know Grounded has been released in September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which means Plague Tale
Requiem's coming out before that then as well.
So I need to get my wiggle on with that then.
You really do. Right. Yeah. So that was the new game. Another set of games that I am looking forward to, they're already released, is the Riot games that are coming to Game Pass. So you got League of Legends, Wild Rift, Valorant, Teamfight Tactics, and Legends of Runeterra. I'm quite getting into.
Deal, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive. For one, it means they're all going on console.
I mean,
So
you're getting
you
all
can
the
get
heroes,
new.
aren't you, as well? So
Getting all the heroes, yeah. We don't know exactly what's happening with Runeterra, but we reckon you'll be getting a bunch of the starter decks for free without having to do anything. So, if anybody has played Runeterra before, it does take a little while to get a decent deck up when you're playing because you have to win the cards basically. So yeah, that's the set.
That's
I
fair enough.
think League of Legends doesn't have a great reputation in its toxic community, and that is because guess what? It's the type of game. It's the same as Smite. It's the same in all of them.
All MOBAs,
they
all people
all-
that play. No offense, all people that play MOBAs, but you're all a bunch of dickheads.
You're not as good as you think you are. That's
Yeah,
why you're
like-
not professional.
You're,
Just saying.
We're noobs. Let us be shit for a
Yeah.
while. Stop shouting and saying you're gonna kill me because I'm not good at a game that I've only just picked up.
Wild Rift. Really, really looking forward to Wild Rift.
I want to play League just for the fact that I loved Arcane.
Yeah, I think that's what a
I
lot of
don't
people
wanna
want.
play League. Don't want to play League because the players of League.
That's fine. We just get a group together that only play together, so you don't have any randos coming into your group. Nobody can shout at you then, because
So
the unnamed League of Legends team.
I was
Do you
saying this about Valorant, that I'd like to try
God.
Valorant, but I know Valorant's quite a toxic environment. If you're not very good,
Nettle, I'm going to cast your mind back to 2018. I think it was 2018. Might have been 2019. We went to that League of Legends Championship.
Yeah, that was 2019. That was the winter of 2019. That was just before all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I enjoyed standing there watching the game.
I've said this
I had a
multiple
good
times.
time.
It's fun to watch professionals play it. I will always watch these things on TV because they're fun. But a lot of the time playing it feels like wanting to rip your face off.
So yeah, maybe it will dilute the
Oh, for sure.
like come into console because you get more casual, I guess, gamers.
you'll just get more knobheads.
I'm trying to be positive, Tempus.
Nope.
We played Overwatch with him.
Well, Tempus.
Yeah.
Tempus. I can only guess what your most anticipated on there is.
Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels.
Yay!
No, and as much as if you'd have been in that Discord call, you'd have heard me literally fangirling over all the Overwatch 2 shit.
It was you.
Like, honestly, I had chills, goosebumps. I was high pitched. Couldn't believe it. Release date on my birthday. Like,
So
nothing better.
exciting for you.
And the fact that there's a second beta that's going on to console, thank Christ, later this month, which will actually give us our first play with the Junker Queen and a new map. So, fingers crossed I can get into that. But because I do talk about Overwatch a lot, and you all know I like Overwatch, I'm going to choose another one that I liked the look of when it was coming up. As much as I do, Redfall would be very high on my list. It's going to be Flintlock, which was the
Is that the one with the little
lady with the
cat?
axe. Yeah, and it had like the
Yeah.
thing with the bird legs and everything. That
Yeah,
looked
that does
really
look-
good.
Yeah.
That does look.
But then
It-
I'm sitting here looking at these, and I could have easily picked 4 or 5.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going
yeah.
to talk about most of them anyway. I
Yes.
feel anyway.
Yeah, it's a long news segment. Settle in, get a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea. We're all kind of in a little bit of agreement here. We're probably not going to play the scary space games, right?
Oh, fuck no.
I might play the Alien one. That looked interesting because it's more of not like Alien. I think they're trying to make it like Colonial Marines should have been if Colonial Marines wasn't shit. So I might give that a go. But again, it is just scares in space because that is Alien.
Why am I not seeing that on here?
Or was that in another one? Am I thinking of something else? I'm sure they mentioned it.
There was definitely an Alien game advertised, but it's not. I can't see it on this list of games.
Was it the Callisto Protocol?
No, it was definitely an actual
No.
Alien game.
That's more like a like Dead Space.
I think it was. I think it was called like Aliens, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because like it's supposed to be a sequel.
But anyway, might play that
Is it
one.
Aliens: Dark Descent?
Might be that one, yeah. I guess isometric twin stick shooter, I think.
Yeah, released 2023. Aliens:
Yeah.
Dark Descent. Yeah. I mean, out of all of the creepy space vibey games, probably I'd try Callisto Protocol, but I mean, Scorn can get in the bin because
Well, Scorn wasn't a spacey alien game. Scorn was more like a weird Dark Souls-esque game and some kind of.
it was still bad enough.
It was horrible. That was
Yeah.
definitely like some body horror going on right there.
I mean, I probably reckon Nettle would play Cocoon from the space games.
That was a cute one though.
Yeah, that was like the puzzler, wasn't it?
Cool space.
Cool
Yes.
space.
Some of these weren't actually mentioned in the thing. Like, I guess that's a Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't think they mentioned Hello Neighbor 2, did they? Either.
No, but I think some
No.
of these ones are just like, these are coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah,
Slime Rancher
advertising.
2. Slime Rancher 2 was on the extended, is what they unveiled. That Valheim, and another one that's not on this list, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
I've seen bits of that.
It's like what's it? Is it Day of the Dead? I think Dead by Daylight. That's it.
Dead by
Daylight.
Is that
The
the Friday the 13th game? But obviously, that's coming day one to Game Pass as well.
That'll be, for those people who like Dead by Daylight, and their Friday the 13th, because I know they're quite popular, like spook cooperative games. I always see memes about them and I don't really understand, but I still giggle to myself anyway. So. Dead by Daylight meme, yeah. Cool. Right. So, I hate myself for saying this. I really hate myself for saying this. But Fallout 76 Expedition the Pit might make me play Fallout 76 again. Because the Pit is is a really good DLC for Fallout 3, and I want to see it in the Fallout 4 engine. I want to see what it looks like. And it looks like you can play on your own, you don't have to play with other people. That's my problem with 76, is the fact that the way I would have wanted a co-op Fallout game is more like Borderlands co-op rather than an MMO. And they can do it well because they've proved it with Elder Scrolls Online. Like, that's really popular. But I just don't think they executed 76 as well as they could have if they had actually listened to their fans and been like, oh, so you don't want an MMO with no NPCs? And I know there's NPCs in it now and they've updated all of that sort of stuff, but I might jump back into that. And if it's going to be day one Game Pass as well, I have Fallout 76. It's not like I'm paying anything extra for it, but I might jump in and go and see how the pit looks. Another one that really excited me right near the end, which I've just noticed my eye hovered over. The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Yes.
That looked very good.
It was a very creepy, like, side scroller, kind of like an Ori and the Blind Forest-esque type game.
/ Cthulhu.
It's just got my daddy on it. My dad.
Daddy Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. It does look very Eldritch. It does look very Eldritch, which I like. It has like clearly some cosmic horrors or something going on. And just like the animation style, it looks really smooth. It did have that very pretty yet spooky, like Ori and the Blind Forest, and that kind of. Is it 2.5D ish? it also has a very like it feels a bit Hollow Knighty as well. Oh,
Yeah.
that's another game I played. I played Hollow Knight. Anyway,
Which it does remind me isn't on here. I can't see Silk Song.
which is they did mention that though.
Yeah, that was the big one, like really big one.
What was
Because it has
that?
the lady Hollow
Silk
Knight.
Song. Yeah, it's like
Oh yeah.
everyone's
I'm really
very
bad at Hollow
excited
Knight,
for
but
that.
it's so pretty.
Do you know the other one that's? Oh no, there it is. It's fine. It's fine. I found it. I wish I hadn't.
Found it.
The one
What?
the Rick and Morty one.
Oh yeah. High
Oh
on Life.
yeah.
High on Life.
I'm so playing that.
I'm gonna
because
play
it's
it.
Rick and Morty.
I'm gonna play it, but I think it's just gonna be one of them ones that's just weird.
It's so stupid.
I mean, I played Bug Snacks, and that was fucking weird. What is Somerville?
Somerville.
It's on the list, but I don't remember seeing it.
I don't remember seeing that either. It looks spookies.
It is kind of, doesn't it? Upcoming video game debut title. Studios co-founder previously found that this doesn't tell me anything. silly Wikipedia.
Stupid thing.
Sci-fi adventure grounded in the in intimate something or other, and I've lost track of everything.
How do we feel about like the personas
Meh.
coming to Game Pass? We meh?
Meh.
Me.
I
Yeah,
played
I'm
5
not
for
a
a little bit.
Persona person.
but- I mean, two other games that are probably high on my list from all of this. One is that Ereban Shadow Legacy. That looks so good. Like it's almost like Prince of Persia meets Contrast. With you're like parkouring, but you've got like the shadow ability and everything. It just looks really good.
That one. Yes, that looked a bit, and it had like cyberpunky colours to it. Like it had that darkness, and it had a nice contrast to the shadow, to the like color of the world. Yeah, that does look very intriguing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Ravenlock. It's like Minecraft meets Alice in Wonderland.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're not gonna be playing Forza?
Nope.
Nope.
We did also get. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Oh no, you go.
I said we got an extended look at Diablo 4, which
we did.
Which brought a couple of new things in, which was quite cool. They have, whether they're keeping this, I don't know, but they've clearly zoomed in on the player, rather than having a very far away top-down approach. You're zoomed in. I like that as well, because the amount of times I have lost my character in a horde of enemies and just gone, well, click and hope for the best.
One of them is me. I don't know which
one.
Win,
I might die. I hope I saved my game.
I think I will give Diablo 4 4. Yeah, trying to work out Roman numerals in my mind of like, how does Roman numerals work? It's V minus 4.
V minus.
Yeah, I like the way that they've just like the graphical upgrades and stuff like that, and being closer to the action, but still isometric.
And the open world, so you can travel, like literally just walk everywhere instead of getting your, well, let's go into this portal and get a cutscene. I like that.
One I vaguely remember Nettle cooing over was that Ara, History Untold.
Yeah, but let's face it, that was because of the voice actress.
Yes, because she's great.
Yeah,
great.
Oh,
such a good voice, and says one of the best lines in The Expanse ever. Don't put your dick in it; it's already fucked enough.
Oh my god, is that what you've got? That you've had that quote
that's a quote.
Discord for ages.
Yep, because I love it. It's either song lyrics or great quotes from things. Okay, so we've discussed games that we are looking forward to. There are some flops on there that we just don't really care about. It says Resident Evil 4 remake. I will give that a go because I loved Resident Evil 4 when I played it on the GameCube. So putting that in the Resi engine is going to look fantastic, and I will be playing that. That's that's a given there.
What about Lightyear Frontier?
I don't
even remember that.
one.
That was like the Stardew Valley style space builder, but you're in like space mechs.
Oh, the colourful
yeah.
space
Titanfall
mechs.
3!
Titanfall 3!
That's what I should have led
Oh!
with. I should have led with that.
Mr. Trick. Mr. Trick. Yes, again, that's another one that I think I'd like to play with other people. Like my list,
Yeah, it's
my
got
list of
people.
games to play with other people are growing, which is nice.
Although I do like a good single player story driven game, do like those. I guess maybe it's a product of the pandemic.
Mm.
And if anything happens, they're trying to make it more accessible for people to just play together, which I think is great. Which I just think is, we could have had this in 2020 though. That would have been better.
It would have been nice.
But you never know what's going to happen with the world. It could fall apart again, and might all go back into lockdown and all these sort of things. And being able to just remotely play with your friends is a lovely thing, I think.
Yeah. I think we know one of our community members is extremely excited over the Microsoft Flight Simulator 40th Anniversary Edition. Howling.
Resident Pilot. I think we're basically down to. I don't know what the fuck that was.
It's Master Chief freaking
Halo!
Come on!
Perfect, okay? Fucking in space. Flight sim in space.
In space.
Space. What? Yeah, why not?
Now you can with this ship on Microsoft Flight Simulator 40th year edition. Yeah, I mean, looking at what's left here, I think we're kind of down to
what
a few that we're kind of a bit like meh.
I feel we need to talk about the elephant in the room that everybody got so hyped over because it was being hyped up, and then we saw it and not everybody, but a lot of people when
Vin Diesel on the dinosaur.
Shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Play an arc. I mean, famous face.
It's all about families on dinosaurs.
Too Arc, Too Furious.
Too Arc, Too Furious. For family. Yeah, no. Starfield. We need to talk about this because the more I think about it, the more I go back and the more I watch it, the more I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing, guys? This is a quintessential Bethesda game from 2013. The graphics are not up to date. They are not on par with other games coming out this year that are on a huge scale like that. And I said it to my games designer, and I'm saying it now. I don't want 100,000 proc gen planets to visit. I don't. Not going to get that time to play that, and I don't give a shit about it. Give me 50 good, handmade, hand-painted planets, and I will be perfectly happy.
You don't need that many, do you? Like, you're never gonna visit all of them places.
To me, this is just doing No Man's Sky again.
I'm a Bethesda fangirl.
Mm.
I will freely admit that. You throw an Elder Scrolls at me, you throw a Fallout at me, I'm falling over it to buy it day one. I will show you my Pip-Boy if you wanted me to. It's packed away in a box at the moment, so maybe not.
That's not a euphemism.
But not right now.
I fucking love Bethesda games, and I was so underwhelmed by the whole thing. And I don't know whether it's because maybe I'm not that enamored with space, and I would prefer maybe it's either to be in the post-apocalyptic world like Fallout, or or a fantasy world like Elder Scrolls. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's gonna give me that typical Bethesda RPG feeling. I will play it because it's Bethesda and it's on Game Pass, but it's just not. It's not giving me this brand new IP. It's not even using a new engine, is it? Let's be fair.
When we watched it, you pretty much pointed out that it was just Outer Wilds. Or like Outer Wilds had already been there, done that. You know?
It probably doesn't have that obsidian humour that the Outer Worlds had. It will have Bethesda RPG stuff to it. It had that typical get to the face and then them speak sort of thing. And I don't know. It just didn't give me.
To me, it felt like Fallout in space. And to the point where looking at some of the factions that they showed us, I was just like, well, that looks like that faction. Fallout. That looks like. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to play Fallout in space. It's boring.
In Fallout.
Yeah. It's just like, why are you hyped up this game to make it seem like it was going to be this amazing thing that we'd never seen before in space? And it's like, okay, well, not only have we seen this before in space, but you're actively using things from your previous games that weren't in space. I'm so underwhelmed by it. So unless they really, like... And obviously this is coming out the first quarter of 2023. It's on that first line of 2023, so they still have 6 months. So whether this particular trailer is in fact a couple of months old, it doesn't have the updated graphics and rigs and animation and all this shit. You know, maybe it's a first pass trailer. That's fine. But probably wasn't the best place to show it because he's going to make everybody think that that's what it's going to look like.
And as your headline.
Yeah.
Like everything led to Starfield. I don't think they should have bothered.
Leave it in suspense a bit more. People are going to pre-order this game, whether they showed it last week or not, because that's just what Bethesda are. Like, this particular game has people hyped. It's Bethesda. You've got your Bethesda boys and girls that will buy this game no matter what anyway. What they've just done is alienated people like me who aren't big Bethesda fans but do quite like a space exploration game, because what I got from that was not a space exploration game.
No.
It's disappointing. I've seen the same sentences being uttered by people all over the internet. I've seen a lot of people also say it looks fucking amazing. I don't know what they were watching, but
it's either or.
Yeah,
it's two
polarized
sides of the coin. It's like people are so excited that they're blinded by, but at the end of the day, you gotta let them be. Like if they're excited for it, don't go on their Twitter post and go, well, you're a dickhead because it looked like shit.
Yeah.
No, leave them alone. If they want to be excited for this game, let them be fucking excited. Let them do what they want to do and how they're gonna have a good time. Can we just stop it? I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, but can we stop in the gaming community? Stop being fucking assholes, please? Can we just let people have nice things? Just let people have nice things.
It's an opinion for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's your
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Or in this case, there's 3 here.
But, you know... Yeah, I'm with Nettle on this. I'm not enamored by it. I don't even know. It's going to come Game Pass day one, so, you know, I'll play it.
You're not losing any money playing it, that's for sure, on Game Pass. If you haven't got Game Pass, if you have just got a PlayStation, maybe leave it a week and see what people say after that, and then maybe buy it. That's all I'm saying.
Or just, you know, it'll probably be on Game Pass on the PC if you've got access to it.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you've got Game Pass, do it. It's free. If you haven't got Game Pass, or if you've got PlayStation only, just leave it a little bit. See what the people's reviews say. The opinions, not critics.
I personally cannot wait though for the Bethesda jank in space.
Yep, that'll be
I
fun.
can't wait for those gifts.
I can't wait for the spaceship to just suddenly disappear and you're just floating there. Just know
It's the
you're still
invisible
driving.
plane.
You're still
I'm
driving
Wonder
a spaceship.
You just suddenly get ejected out of your spaceship.
Ragdoll
Ragdoll physics into space.
Ragdoll physics in space.
I feel like there's one more really on this list that we haven't mentioned and was kind of on our lower side of games. And that's Pentiment.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember
I've been
that,
looking at it going, what the fuck?
Oh, was that the weird kind of like...
Yeah,
But-
like it. Yeah, it's like almost like looking at old. It's not tableaus, but like what's the word I'm thinking of? Like
Manuscript.
Tapestries.
tapestries. That's the one. Thank you very much.
I think
it's
there
like
is
it's
a-
like a tapestry
medieval
game.
one.
Yeah.
Tapestry, but
Or
like
by Obsidian, yeah.
Yeah, I think we weren't enamored by it because we didn't fucking understand what it was. We understood it was a
The
game.
animation was
From
quite
there.
cool with that, like that it was scrolling through a tapestry. But I
Yeah.
don't understand what you're supposed to be doing.
No.
Yeah.
I imagine if it's Obsidian, it's gonna have some kind of humor to it.
they did show a bit more of it on the extended.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a lot of like story dialogue. Like you go around, you talk to people, whatever, but there are also puzzles. Because there was someone that was trying to put like a piece of paper together or whatever, and they was like turning it around, trying to get it in the right place and everything. So I think it was just because it's one of them ones, a bit like Wulong. Do you remember that one?
Oh
on
my
there as well.
god, yeah. What the fuck?
It's
was
a
that
it's a
about?
trailer that didn't really tell you what the game was.
Which is what you don't really
No.
want.
The thing is, though, with these cinematic trailers, is they're meant to show you a glimpse of the story. Like, this is meant to be the thing that tells you the story, because the gameplay and the combat trailers are never going to tell you that. It's meant to tell you what the story is. And if people are sitting there afterwards going, the fuck is that about? Your trailer hasn't done its job and you need to fire your trailer people.
Agreed.
Agreed.
So my overall vibe of this was, yeah, there was some cool games which I'm gonna play, but I felt it was a bit. Are we in agreement?
I mean, there is one more thing we haven't spoken about that probably should be spoken about, is the big middle finger that Hideo Kojima
Oh my
gave
god!
to
At that
PlayStation.
point, I was just like, is that all we're fucking getting?
It's just like, we're working with Hideo Kojima for this amazing thing that you guys have never seen before. And Hideo Kojima's just like, yeah, it's me. You're going to buy the game because it's me. By the way, fuck you, PlayStation.
Apparently, there's. I did see a thing. Apparently, he's come out and he's still working and in good relationships with Sony.
Well, there's that whole thing that came out recently that Norman Reedus said they're working on Death Stranding 2.
So that's the Xbox game then.
Yeah, that's the Xbox game.
So Sony get Death Stranding, Xbox gets Death Stranding 2, Switch gets Death Stranding 3.
Yep. I have feelings about Hideo Kojima. Like, you tell a person that they are a visionary too many times, they think they are a visionary. Like,
Okay.
it's meant to be great games, like Silent Hill,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. They are great games, but he is a bit overrated, right?
I'm about to get cancelled because I literally said this to Andy before. If Metal Gear Solid, as a game, came out with today's graphics, people wouldn't like it. The graphics would be fine. The gameplay would be fucking boring.
I would agree.
Just saying.
There's
Daddy's gonna kill me, but
there's stuff, yeah, that hasn't
Nobody-
aged well.
nobody wants to
couldn't-
sit in like under a box or in a hangar, whatever, for 10 minutes waiting for the alert to go down to 0. Nobody wants that. And the boss mechanics, when you're actually fighting Metal Gear Solid at the end, where you're having to do specific things and having to wait for shit loads of times just waiting throughout Metal Gear. You're just waiting for a specific marker to happen before you can do anything. Nobody would like that today.
I also don't think you could do like, which is one of the best boss fights ever to be done. You couldn't do Psycho Mantis now. You couldn't have that where you have to switch the stuff around, because obviously you don't have that, so it wouldn't work now. And how would you then do that fight? Because the only thing that's interesting about that fight is that mechanic, is that switching mechanic, and reading your memory card and all that sort of stuff, which I guess you could do through cloud gaming, but I don't know. I don't.
So yeah, all I'm saying, Hideo, he's not as good as game designer as people make him out to be.
He made Amazon delivery service the game.
I mean, I watched a bit of Death Stranding, and like when I say I watched a bit, I think I watched like an hour, and I was like, you know what, I have no interest to watch any more of this game. Like, there's nothing keeping me here.
Okay, this is one of the reasons why I don't want actual games journalists to listen to our podcast, because we are such opposites to everything everybody talks about. We're like, we don't like Dark Souls. We don't want to play Elden Ring. We don't like Kojima.
No, I would like to make that. I don't have, like, Hideo Kojima is fine as game designer. He's probably above average, but I just don't think people should put him on this pedestal that they have, because actually, if you go back and look at some of his earlier games, they don't stand up today. Yes, they have a cult following from all of us 30-something-year-olds that played it on PlayStation 1 when we were all 14 years old or whatever, you know. That's fine. You can love a game from when you were a teenager because you were a teenager and you played the game now, but don't make it something it's not. Don't make it this massive thing that it's the best game in the world. It will always be played, because kids these days don't play Metal Gear. How many kids do you know that have played Metal Gear?
Like, can you imagine like someone playing that now that has no idea what Metal Gear Solid is?
Yeah, I genuinely don't think they'd like it.
I mean, you say that, because what was it? Is it's Metal Gear 5, isn't it? Is it Phantom Pain or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom Pain
Like,
is.
apparently that just didn't do very well.
Metal Gear Solid 5, yeah.
But that's not Hideo Kojima, though, is it?
Is it not? Did he leave during that?
It was partially. It was part of it was, and then Konami finished it.
Yeah.
I think is how it happened. But he definitely did Ground Zeroes, and I did not enjoy that at all. Which is like the pre-game to the game.
But like it kind of cements kind of like what Nettle was saying, like about if they were to make Metal Gear Solid now. They've made Metal Gear Solid now, and they just don't. I think they only still resonate with the people that liked Metal Gear Solid growing up.
Because we know what to expect. We know to expect these markers, these wait times, and all this kind of shit. But kids these days, they don't like waiting for a marker in order to do a fight bit. Like, that is not something they like. I mean, we have it in Destiny where you have a boss that's shielded until you do a certain amount of things. The amount of people that complain about that, and I'm like, Jesus, kid, did you never play any games in the 90s? But that's my point with this. I think people should be wary. They got drugs for it. They should be wary of have this massive thing of, because that's all it was. Hideo Kojima was just like, I'm working with Xbox. That's the thing. But they had this massive section and they hyped it up. And they were like, oh my God. It was just like, yeah. And?
Yeah. I
literally text my friend, was that it? Because he texted me saying, oh, this is going to be big. And then, what?
Yeah.
There was nothing.
What?
They
didn't tell me nothing.
They honestly didn't need that. They could have just left that out, give it however many months it was until they had
something to
show us.
Not even that. Concept art would have probably been okay.
Even just the name of the game with like a title, it would have got people going, right? Because like you say, a lot of people do think he's like the visionary or whatever, so people will like his game. And I'm not saying the game, like all of his games are bad. Like, I mean, I've never played them, but it's just it's one of them things where it was like, is this a necessary thing? All you've done is confuse people by saying, I'm working on a game for Xbox. It's like, good, so am I.
I mean, literally. But, like, you know, it's literally that thing where it's just like there was no need for it, and you've caused hype and you've caused people to gossip for no reason whatsoever about Hideo and PlayStation.
Yeah.
There was no need for that. Like, why do it?
It's like you said, it feels like they've just turned around and said, we've got Hideo Kojima.
I hope
Suck
this doesn't turn into a one-up war between them for different things.
I mean, like I said, they've come out and said that he's still working with Sony.
We talk about this all the time. It's like, if you're gonna rival up a rivalry between Xbox fans and Sony fans, you're gonna cause issues on the internet.
Well, you
Simple
look at anything like in very recent years, anyone that turns around and kind of slanders Xbox or PlayStation, 9 times out of 10, the other company will come in and say, well, what are you talking about? We're friends. Like, they are so chummy now. They're so close, and they don't look at it as a rivalry anymore. Like, the amount of times you see them tweeting and congratulating each other on like a great show, or you know, like, oh my god, that game looks amazing, kind of thing, knowing full well it's a exclusive to that console. Console wars. I know we have a section in our Discord called that, but that's being ironic.
We're doing it ironically.
Yeah. But like, console wars are a thing of the past now. Like, they are not in direct competition really to each other anymore.
They're doing two different things. Sony are doing their first party story driven games, which are fantastic. Everybody loves them. And Xbox are doing Game Pass, just trying to bring as many games to as many gamers as possible. They're doing two very different things. I don't think either of them really care about actual like console sales and things like that anymore. Maybe PlayStation do, because they do need to sell those PS5s to make those games. But it's not like they're going like before. Was it PS3 where the guy just came on and gave a price and then mic dropped and fucked off? It's not that time. It's not that time anymore. It's different. They're doing different things for different types of gamers. But at the end of the day, we are just all gamers.
Because, like,
You know,
if you're sitting on your ass playing a game, you're no better than anybody else.
If you look at it, like, if the console wars thing was an actual thing still nowadays, you just look at Xbox have bought Activision Blizzard, the amount of games they could keep off of other consoles and things, but they've already come out and said, look, we're not going to make these games exclusive. We just want to take over, give them some extra budget or time to do these things. But you can still play these.
That sweet Microsoft monies.
Yeah, but like, they're still going to be available on other things. Like, obviously, PlayStation bought Bungie, but Destiny's still cross-play, available to play on everything. It just because they own something doesn't mean they're now going, ha, fuck you, I own this now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you didn't rage, would it really be an online gaming podcast? Anyway, I think that like highlights the Xbox showcase. So we've gone on for a while, so this might be a bit short. Because it is Key 3 season. F Keely, ew, Grace. So I found this Xbox showcase to be quite lackluster. One, I did not hear world premiere said in the Xbox way once.
Can I just
And it made me really sad. I saw the logo come up.
It's quite funny. I was watching our podcast named Cousins, because they were doing a live stream after the event talking about this, and they were talking about this point, and they said every time it come up, they were then sitting there going, "Whoa, premiere!"
I was thinking it in my mind. I should have done it out loud. But yeah, that I know that is a really silly thing. It bothers me. And now that things are going back to being live, so people actually being on stage and giving actual speeches and things like that, I want to know from you guys what you find interesting about what your ideal showcase from either a developer or a company would be. What would you like to see out of a showcase? What gets you tingly in the bits?
Overwatch 2. Just give me 2 hours of Overwatch 2 stuff and I'm done. That's ideal for me.
He's an easy please, isn't he?
I'm a man.
Yeah.
So funny enough, Ben, I don't know whether this is just because I have got used to the last couple of state of plays that PlayStation have brought out, which have been lackluster, very lackluster. I was all right with this show, with the Xbox Bethesda show. I was all right with it. I thought we got a good mix of new games, remastered games, and games coming to their particular platform, which, as we can't forget that that's a thing for them now, you know, they have a particular platform and they will want people to get the Game Pass. So they are going to be showing some games that have already come out but will be coming to Game Pass, which I appreciate because I don't play a lot of games on the hope that they do come to Game Pass, especially the bigger ones that do cost a bit of money, because I'm like, I don't have all the money in the world. But yeah, indie, AA and AAA, good mix of that. And I like a good mix of going from one to the other to doing an interview with a dev, talking to the director, talking to the game designer, getting an explanation about what they want, snapping back to another game, showing another world premiere, going to another game designer. That's what I like. I like a nice snappy segment, but I like having the interaction with the dev. I like being told what they envisioned for that game, why they think we're going to love it. Why do they think we're going to love it? Because people don't make games unless they think people are going to love them. So why does the dev think we're going to love it? That's what I like to hear. I like a nice...
They didn't have enough of that.
No.
Like, you had a few segments of people, but you're absolutely correct. That's one thing I very much loved about live E3s was the fact of people coming up, even developers playing the games on stage, cringe-worthy things happening a lot. I love a bit of cringe. But yeah, you're right. I go back to thinking about when we go to EGX shows or when we go to shows that have the res and WASD, or it's WASD.
Yeah.
The developers being there by their game and then explaining to you like how the mechanics work and things like that gets me so hype because they're hype. Like, prime example of that was when we were speaking to the creator of this little game here, which I put a little thing, Spellbound. She was so excited about her game and like explaining things that will come up, and just you could feel the magic from her and how much passion she has in that game. I think again that's what is missing from a lot of these. Like, I didn't feel, usually Phil Spencer comes in and he always comes in and he's like has that he's pretty powerful, like he's a powerful man when he's on the stage. I didn't get that from I didn't get that from him this time. I hate to say it as well because he's cringy as fuck. Like when Randy Pitchford comes on and talks about Borderlands games and stuff, he's cringy as hell, but still he gets me like, all right, Randy, what you got to say? What you got to say this time? And that's what I need from a showcase. I guess maybe it's just us, Netty. I guess we feel a empathy, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. Like
being able to, I would connect more when someone's speaking about it rather than just seeing it.
If you give me 5 games and only one of them has a dev talking about them, even if that game looks slightly worse than the other 4 games, I will instantly be drawn to the one where the dev was talking about it.
Yeah.
Especially in something like the gaming industry where you do get this watered down effect of, oh, well, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then when you actually play it, you're like, oh, this is actually really good. And then you go, oh, well, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go, oh, this game looks really good, so I'm going to watch it. And then you go a big AAA game comes out, and then 2 years' time, all of the indie games come out, and they kind of look the same because that's just what is in the fashion at the time. So you have to, if your game can't stand out visually because it looks just as good as all the other games that are coming out, what's going to make it stand out on a presentation is you talking about it.
I guess one of the examples of that was 2019's E3 when I can't remember her name and I'm really sorry, but there was like a really happy, upbeat person that came out and just took the gaming world by storm. And I'm really embarrassed that I can't remember her name. But her segment was one of the best segments, and it was like often memed and gifted and stuff. But she was just really happy to be there and talk about the game. And I can't remember what the game is now, and I'm sorry, but I just remember the response to her and her, just herself, like her personality. I guess you need to. It didn't have personality. That was what was wrong with this showcase.
There was. It was a bit of personality missing. I'm not saying that's because they use the same host for every single fucking show now, but
just bring us on it.
Do it. Everybody would love us.
Can you imagine us hosting an event?
But like, I guess more
that was Starfield. What a load of shit that was.
What shit? Why are we looking at that?
Why did we put this on here?
COD. What the fuck are you doing, mate?
Why have you put COD in front of my audience? Fuck off.
And our next trailer is an update for... No, I'm not saying that. Get rid of it. Next.
Overwatch.
Oh, this one looks really good.
Yeah, look at the pretty colours, guys.
Oh, I'd play this one. Let's watch it. That's how it would go. I mean...
the Unnamed Gaming Showcase.
In the terms of...
For the Unnamed Gaming Productions.
Yeah.
We know to bring our personalities into it.
Exactly. For our award ceremony. And then when we reveal trailers for companies, because, you know, we'll be that big one day, maybe.
Yeah. Have faith.
But yeah, like, for a presentation like this, like, I get E3 was a massive thing that you could go and sit in a theatre and watch it and everything like that, but I quite like these compact just trailers and information thing because I get what I want one after the other without much interruption. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to know what the game is. If you can, like, I think that my perfect way of looking at it would be a Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Direct are very good.
You get someone come on, welcome you to the Direct, say what kind of things are going on. You'll get a trailer for the game or something or other, and they're generally really good. But then after that, you'll get a voiceover kind of explaining to you what the game is or what the story is of the game. And so you always get your bit of everything. You get your trailer, you get your information, but you're not hanging around. You then move on to something else. But like, I get what you're saying. Like,
most people have personality in Nintendo Directs. Like, I feel like the people that they get to present and stuff tend to have personality, and you can tell that they love Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't mind the way they did this. Like, every now and then they'd come back and they'd talk to someone about their game. I was quite happy to listen to some of them people explain what their game was and stuff like that, because I just wish that they'd have done that on some of the games that I watched the trailer and had no idea what I was looking at. Like, it just, one of these games was just hack and slash action in the theatrical kind of sense, like very cinematic, but it gave me no idea what style of game it was going to be. Or, you know, even like Nettle said, they're supposed to be like the showing you of the story. I had no idea what the story was. I just saw, I'm going to use Wukong because it's the one that pretty much stands out in my head. Like, I think I even said it in the Discord at the time. I was like, what even is this game?
Yeah.
I could have just been watching a scene from an anime or something, you know. I have zero information from that game. You know, even if there'd have been a voiceover kind of telling you a little story of the game, I can't remember if there was, but if there was, it didn't hit me to
No.
say I knew what was going on. But I think sometimes that's the thing. I think sometimes you can just let the trailer do the work for you.
Yeah.
Other times you want to show off this really good looking game, but you're going to need to give some kind of explanation. That's when you need someone
Context.
talking. But
The best person to do that is the creator or the developer of that game.
Yep.
I think we're all in agreement here. We want a bit of personality, but we want it to be snappy and fast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm 3 minutes in a cuddle.
3 minutes for like 30 seconds, am I right?
Whoa.
Whee!
Hey.
I got undressed
Whee!
is part of that 3 minutes.
I'm
on.
stuck. I'm stuck.
We're not paying you for a striptease here. Just get on with it.
All right, 45
Craig,
seconds.
stop
then.
taking your clothes off.
Craig, you are so
He-
lucky right now at home.
He is
okay?
wearing many coats.
It's going to take a long time.
Anyway, I think that's been a real long podcast, you guys.
Yeah, it has.
But it is that time of year where things are announced, and we like to talk because we like to talk about
Yeah.
games. We're excited about games, so
We get a good
well
month
worth
of announcements, and then it all goes dead until about September, October time, and then it goes dead for a couple of months until December.
It's
Yeah.
been nice to have things to actually, sit and talk in depth with, because I will admit some news weeks are really dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on, games people, do something bad so we can talk about it.
God,
Ragey
yeah.
about it.
Give us another
Come on.
scandal.
Jeez. What
Maybe
have we
Somebody
got?
buy somebody, please.
What have we got coming up? Because we've had the opening night, we've had the state of play, we've now had this one. Are there any? Have we got a Nintendo one coming?
So there's a rumor that we have a Nintendo one coming. Yeah,
It's not been advertised.
not been advertised.
But they normally they normally only come out and say, we've got Nintendo Direct in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Don't know, they never really give you a big heads up.
Well, we'll try to do like we did with this showcase. If we're around and have time, join us in the mess hall, you guys. Don't think that we're just in there for fun. So we actually want to have chats with you.
I literally atted everyone to say, I'm going live in the mess hall if you want to sit and chat and talk about this. We had people join and leave and say sorry, as if they thought we were recording.
No, in the mess hall, we allow you to come in there.
The mess hall is for everyone.
The mess hall is for everyone.
And if you ever just want to, meet up and just have a chat with anybody in the Discord. By the way, guys, we have a Discord, so join our Discord.
Join our Discord.
The mess hall's free for all. Just go in. Maybe we'll drop in and join in the conversation that you're having.
Yeah.
Why not? We're all friends here, so go and have a nice little chat. So yes, we're going to end this podcast by telling you that we have a Discord. Come and join our Discord. Let's talk about games.
Link below.
Link below, along with all of our other socials. We are on Twitter, T_U_G_P. Unnamed Gaming Podcast, Twitter. We do live tweets. Well, Nettle does live tweets when they're watching any showcases and such.
They're not very good. They're basically just my inner thoughts, which is just weird.
I mean,
it's great. It's good times all round.
They have one for Overwatch 2 tomorrow about 6 o'clock, so I might be live tweeting that bad boy.
Maybe you'll nip into the old.
Maybe I'll be reply live tweeting.
Yeah, boring. Get out.
We are on Instagram and TikTok, and we're not on Facebook. We didn't do that because Facebook is for boomers, so we don't do that. They don't need to listen to us. They have it hard enough as it is.
They don't even know what games are. Let's face it.
Yeah. We are on we're on YouTube. So if you're listening to this and you didn't get to see our lovely faces, we have them. I've been told recently my face is really expressionful, and I don't know if that is an insult or a compliment. So, come and have a look at my face. We're on YouTube. The underscore the underscore podcast. No, the Unnamed Gaming Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all
Subscribe
of
and
those.
comment.
Send us a comment. All right. We got a tweet from our good friend Howling. You know what? That was a really sweet tweet. All they said was, "Just catching up. Keep up the good work." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. That's really nice." So come and tweet us because we'll.
Wait, they
tweet
said
back.
keep up the good work. Yeah, they weren't listening to our
Well.
podcast.
That must have been the other one.
It was the other Unnamed Games
yeah.
podcast.
And also Mr. Dewar.
Stop recommending us.
recommending us to like
Don't
an actual
do that,
journalist.
Dom.
No journalist needs to hear us, okay? It's...
If you want to laugh at us, maybe, but I don't want to.
We are
You cannot take us seriously.
We're a comedy gaming podcast, but the jokes are the presenters, so...
but we're not funny.
That's the joke.
Yes. So I have personal socials as well, like the rest of us do. I'm Bendy Ben's costuming. I do put pictures of my costumes up every now and then. And also just do strange tweets about poached eggs. So come and follow me there, but I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. Yeah, do that. Nettle, you have some too.
I do, Instagram. I do have Facebook because I'm bordering on being a boomer apparently. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, OnlyFans. I don't know. Nettlecreates.
Tempus.
Hello.
What Tempusbe?
I am Tempusbe.
A sloth man.
You can.
He's a sloth man.
It's really hot and really late. We've lost our minds.
Bendy needs another ice pole.
I do.
She's been cradling that lolly stick for hours. You can find me on every social media website at Tempusbe. I'm not going to list them all because they've been listed already. But I'm on them. I'm on them.
Including OnlyFans.
But I'm on there.
Every fucking week we make this joke. It's not funny anymore.
It's consistency.
Consistency.
The more you tell a joke, the funnier it gets. Fact.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be like the one week we don't say it, we'll get comments.
Yeah.
What's the OnlyFans?
I thought you had an OnlyFans.
There might be some surprise things coming up. I might actually do some things. So follow those things that we do, those social medias.
Namely the Unnamed Gaming Podcast Twitch channel.
Possibly. Oh yeah, we have a Twitch. But yes, follow us on all of those. How can we end this mammoth podcast, you guys? Goodbye!
Bye.